What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Reek Knows Hoops. I'm your host, Tyreek. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. This is just a channel where we talk about NBA basketball. So if you love hoops, this is the place for you. But this video is about I'm like a week late. I know I'm like a week late on this, but it's that ESPN top 25 under 25 list that they come out with. At least they came out with it last year. I don't know if it's like an annually thing, but they did it last year and they did it again this year. And it got some controversy stirred up, but that's what the point of this video is, man. Like, we got to stop, as NBA fans, we have to stop falling for that stuff, because that's exactly what these lists are made for, is to get people talking, is to get debates going, controversies started up. That's exactly what these lists are for. And ESPN, they're probably the kings of doing this. Pretty much every big media firm, I mean, they come out with their own lists and stuff that have some egregious stuff, but ESPN is obviously the most notable, sports media company, and they do this quite often, especially in the NBA. They do it in the NBA once or twice, sometimes 3 times a year. They do this all the time. And, this list was brought out last week. And I guess the main thing that people had issues with was, I think they had LaMelo at number 3, as the top. He was the 3rd player under the age of 25. And this is a list that has people like, Jason Tatum on it, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Ben Simmons, Bam. There's a lot of guys under LaMelo that, you can argue have more potential. I mean, that's what the list was based off of, is potential. But I don't really think they did a great job of making that known, honestly. It was some fine print stuff, based on potential. Kind of weird, but the list did have some head scratches to me, but that is exactly what it's for. Is I'm talking about it right now, obviously, so that's exactly what they want. They want people talking about their list. And there was 3 journalists that came up with the list. So I don't know what y'all think about it. I'm gonna definitely have it up on the screen so y'all can take a peek at it. But I don't know, it's a weird list, man. And they left guys for some reason, RJ Barrett always gets a lot of hate when it comes to stuff like this. He's never included. He's not even in the top 25. What was really weird to me was Ja Morant and Trae Young being mid-teens. Ja was at 15, Trae Young was at 16. Thought that was kind of odd to me. I don't know where a lot of the Trae Young, he gets slandered a lot. He really does. I'm not gonna lie. I seen on Twitter last week they was comparing. They was who would you rather have, Trae Young or Lonzo? I'm just for one, I hate comparing players like that. I think that's just one of the most weird trends of modern day NBA fans. It's you always got to compare somebody, who's better, or this guy's way better than this guy. It's it's a weird trend that just I hate doing. I don't really like partaking in that stuff. But for some reason, NBA fans these days love doing that, and I don't know, it's kind of weird to me. But yeah, I'm gonna just name off the list for you guys. We got Luka at number 1, which I think that's pretty warranted. I think Luka probably is the best player under the age of 25, in my opinion, and obviously in their opinions, and I think most NBA fans' opinions too. Number 2, they got Zion, and I mean, if this is based off of potential, what Zion showing us right now is that he's going to be a superstar level caliber player, for, the majority of his career. I mean, he's already showing great signs at the young age of I think he's still 20 years old. He's still showing just amazing signs. And this game's really evolving, and it seems like every time he steps out on the court. So, I don't really have an issue with that. The LaMelo at number 3 is probably the headliner, I guess. And I could see why they put him there, because he's so young. He's so young, and he's shown so much promise already early on in his career. But it's hard to judge somebody off of he's played half. He played half this season. It's hard to judge somebody off half the season of their rookie year that. If you you could judge people off their rookie years all the time. There's some great players who had great rookie seasons and didn't do anything really the rest of their career. I can name several players that have done that. Tyreke Evans, Michael Carter Williams. But I think they mainly put LaMelo here just to ruffle some people's feathers. That's really what I think it is, man. But shout out to LaMelo for garnering all this respect early on. At 4, I think this might have been a little controversial too to some people. Donovan Mitchell at number 4, ahead of Jason Tatum at 5. De'Aaron Fox was at 6. I'm surprised De'Aaron Fox was actually this high because I feel like the national media doesn't give him a lot of attention, but he's been amazing this season. He's, really been amazing. He's gotten better each and every season, and this being his best season, could have been an all-star this year. He's just playing in Sacramento, which doesn't get a lot of media attention. So, shout out to them for recognizing De'Aaron Fox's talent level. 7, Ben Simmons, and then at 8, Devin Booker. D-Book, man, I've mentioned this in a video last week. Like, I don't know where the D-Book the hate came from, man. I really don't understand where that hate came from, but Devin Booker at number 8, kind of weird. Number 9, we got Bam. Shout out to Bam. And then 10, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, if probably anybody was to fall off the list, it would probably be like Shai. But I really do like Shai's game. But, having Trae Young at 16, Ja Morant at 17. At 15, my bad. But I don't know. The list is kind of weird, man. But let's keep it going, man. 11, Brandon Ingram. And this interesting because Brandon Ingram's been an all-star. I think the question would be like, how much better do we think Brandon Ingram can get in his NBA career? That's probably like the question mark right there, but that's to be seen because BI's been great the last 2 years in New Orleans, so he's definitely showing signs of improvement each year. At 12, we got Jaylen Brown, first-time all-star. He's another player, like, how much better can Jaylen Brown actually get in his career? He's still a very young player at the same time, obviously. I think he's still 24 years old. And then moving on, Jamal Murray at 13. Get well soon, Jamal Murray. Actually kind of surprised he's even this high too, because he's a player that's shown like a lot of inconsistencies. Obviously, he's mentioned he's been banged up with injuries from time to time. So, still maybe a little bit of a surprise he's high. And then his teammate Michael Porter Jr. at 14. He's a player that really has potential to be even higher on this list, honestly, because, this is pretty much just his second NBA season. And, he's been playing great, as the season's going on. He's got back healthy and stuff. He's been playing amazing basketball, too. So, him at 14 might be a little bit of like a bargain. And then I mentioned Ja at 15, Trae at 16. I think those two could definitely be higher, especially Ja Morant. I think he could definitely be higher, because what he's done for this Grizzlies team, and it's like his counting numbers aren't like amazing, but you know his impact is there on this team. And he's a big reason to why they're always fighting for the playoffs these last 2 seasons. Next, we have at 17, Mikal Bridges. Shout out to Mikal Bridges. Most improved player candidate. Probably won't win it, but he's definitely in that conversation. And one of the best two-way young wings in the league, in my opinion. And then 18, we got Domantas Sabonis, 2-time All-Star, but he's another player like, how much better can he get? But if this is the final version of Sabonis, he's a 2-time All-Star, and he's a big that every team will take on their roster if they had the chance. So even if this is his peak, he's still a great player. And then 19, Anthony Edwards, showing a lot of promise early on, and he could probably make his way higher on this list depending on just his development. But he's shown a lot of great flashes. 20, DeAndre Ayton, the number 1 pick a few years ago. I think he's shown a lot of improvement, man. I've liked what I've seen from him. Especially, just when I've watched him this season, even if he doesn't have a great scoring night or something, like his impacts on the court, he's still being aggressive and he's trying to command the boards. I really like seeing that from a young big. And you got to be patient with young bigs because the center position is probably the hardest one to adjust to in the NBA, in these stages of the league. And then at 21, one of my favorite guys, Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's somebody that he's going to be one of just a solid player. No matter where he is, will likely be on, winning teams or help teams win games. And I think if he was a little more healthy this season, maybe he could be higher on the list, or maybe the Kings might be a little bit, better, because he has missed time here and there, and he's been an important part to this Kings team this season. So shout out to Tyrese. And at 22, John Collins. He's another I don't know how much. John Collins is really good. He's been 2010 pretty much the last couple of years. He's due to get paid this offseason, I believe. I wonder if the Hawks are going to throw him the bag, or, if he's going to get it elsewhere, because he's been in trade talks, man. And, they haven't been able to get, that contract extension down. So That's really what I'm most interested in with John Collins. Really, like these last like 6 players, like if you put them in any order, I really wouldn't see any issue. Honestly. But 23 is Jared Allen, 24 Lonzo Ball, and 25 Colin Sexton. All those guys have had good seasons in my eyes, especially Colin Sexton's really, proving that he's going to be a very good guard in this league. Same thing with like Jared Allen, going to Cleveland. He's been playing really well. And I think Zoe's really been playing well since like an early point in the season when he was maybe like not being as aggressive, but he's really started to step it up lately. Just hope to see him stay a little healthy. He's missed some games here and there lately. But yeah, that's the list. I just wanted to put my opinion out there that like we just like as NBA fans, like these big firms, they want us to react to these lists. They want us to, be talking about their lists all the time. Like ESPN, like I said, they're the masters at this. Like, remember they had like DeMar DeRozan ranked as like the 80th best NBA player coming into, I think, this season. And that's just like, bro, what are you watching? Like, what are you watching, honestly? And I think they had like Zach LaVine at like 49. Like, they do this stuff very often, and it's just to get controversies started up in the social media space, and it works. It works a lot. But I think just as NBA fans, we just need to do a better job not really overreacting to these lists, man. They're just lists that people put their opinions in, and if we're so worried about it, just put together our own list. Or in my opinion, just appreciate watching these young guys play basketball, because the league is in great hands, man. The league is in great hands, in my opinion. Even when some of our favorite players like, LeBron and them all, decide to call it quits, I think the league is in great hands, and we still have some, young players coming up on the rise that are going to provide amazing basketball over the next, decade and a half. So just appreciate what we got. That's pretty much the moral of this video. Just appreciate these young players and all the players in the league, all the great players. Just appreciate what we have and enjoy the product of the NBA, man. But hey, a little different video, not a recap. But if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, share, help the channel grow a little bit. And I'm gonna be back next time, y'all. Peace.